The National Ocean Service estimates that we have only managed to explore 5% of the ocean. With this statistic in mind, it isn't hard to believe some of the creatures on this list really could exist. After all, who knows what is lurking amongst the undiscovered 95%? Number 1. African lake monster. To discuss mysterious creatures, we must explore a strange African lake, home to a creature that has both fascinated and terrified local communities. The natives see it as a sacred being, while fishermen believe it brings chaos and death. However, some brave explorers captured it on video and lived to share their stories. The pictures they got show a monster briefly surfacing, revealing its large size. It looks like a sea serpent with a body over 20 feet long. Its head and neck suggest it might be a leftover from the Jurassic period, similar to ancient dinosaurs but adapted to today's world. Despite how strange this idea seems, the camera shows no tricks. The monster is real, maybe too real. Sooner or later, we might have to accept that some of nature's mysteries can't be easily explained. Number 2. Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, better known as Nessie, is a famous sea creature said to live in Loch Ness in Scotland. Since the 1930s, there have been over 1,000 reports of sightings. While many can be explained, some remain mysterious. An interesting theory is that Nessie could be a giant prehistoric sea turtle. Descriptions of Nessie vary, but most agree it's a large, serpent-like creature with a hump sticking out of the water. Some scientists think it could be a surviving plesiosaur from the dinosaur era. Nessie's length is estimated to be between 33 and 43 feet, 13 meters, and it might weigh around 5,070 pounds, 2,300 kilograms. Some people believe that a particular piece of footage is one of Nessie's most credible sightings. An article in the journal Biological Conservation suggests Nessie could be a long-necked turtle that never went extinct. The most famous sighting occurred in 1934, when a photograph was published, but some claim it's a hoax. In the 1960s, a team of scientists used underwater cameras and sonar to explore Loch Ness. They didn't find solid proof of Nessie, but they did detect some unexplained sonar readings, hinting that something big might live in the lake. Number 3. Ogopogo. Ogopogo is another legendary sea creature believed to inhabit Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. The folklore surrounding this creature dates back to the 19th century. Similar sightings have been reported in Lake Champlain, located between New York and Quebec, Canada. A woman named Cindy claims to have captured the creature with a GoPro while snorkeling along the shores of Lake Champlain. In the video, the terrifying sea creature can be seen swimming toward her, causing her to panic. Ogopogo is estimated to be between 40 and 50 feet, 15 meters long. While many dismiss it as a myth, Cindy's GoPro footage looks quite realistic. Given that we have explored only a small percentage of the ocean, it's entirely possible that unidentified sea creatures are still out there. Additionally, an annual Ogopogo festival is held in British Columbia to celebrate the legend. Number 4. Foul-smelling algae. One summer morning in 2016, Florida residents woke up to a shocking sight. Their pristine blue coastal waters had turned into a thick, toxic sludge. This clumpy blue-green algae was so harmful that the governor declared a state of emergency across 4 counties. The algae had a terrible smell and could cause skin and stomach irritation just from contact. Even worse, inhaling its putrid fumes led to burning eyes, headaches, and other forms of sickness. The cause of this algae bloom remains a mystery. Some experts point to climate change, while others blame fertilizer runoff. Despite ongoing investigations, the exact reason has not been determined. Unfortunately, toxic algae blooms continue to appear in various parts of Florida, posing a recurring threat to the environment and public health. Number 5. The Megalodon Mystery. Our next story takes us to Australia, where a group of divers encountered something extraordinary while studying great white sharks. During a cage dive, they noticed that all the sharks suddenly fled the area. The reason became clear when a massive dark-colored shark appeared. Despite being a young hatchling, this shark was several meters long, with a jaw capable of shredding flesh and bones. Some researchers speculate that this shark could be a descendant of the legendary megalodon, a giant prehistoric shark. While this remains a remote possibility, the encounter suggests that the deep sea might still harbor some of its ancient monsters. Number 6. Chessie, gigantic snake. During a helicopter flight over the Chesapeake Bay, a gigantic snake-like creature was captured on camera. The Chesapeake Bay is a large estuary on the Atlantic Ocean in the eastern United States, located between Virginia and Maryland. Known as Chessie, this creature is described as a long, snake-like sea serpent measuring between 25 and 40 feet in length. Unlike other cryptid sightings such as Nessie or Champ, Chessie has no flippers or limbs, closely resembling a giant eel or a sea snake. It is typically reported to be black or brown in color. The earliest sighting of the creature is believed to have occurred in 1936, when military personnel observed something reptilian and unknown in the water. According to Matt Lake in the Weird Maryland Traveler's Guide, 2 fishermen, Francis Klarman and Edward J. Ward, spotted something unusual in the water near Baltimore in 1943. One of them described it, "This thing was about 75 yards away at right angles from our boat. At first, it looked like something floating on the water. It was black, and the part of it that was out of the water seemed about 12 feet long. It had a head about as big as a football and shaped somewhat like a horse's head. It turned its head around several times, almost all the way around." In 1982, Robert and Karen Frew captured footage of Chessie near Kent Island, showing a brownish object moving side to side like an aquatic snake. In 1994, a manatee rescued from Chesapeake's cold water was nicknamed Chessie before being returned to Florida. Another sighting occurred in 1997 off the shore of Fort Smallwood Park, very close to the shore. On April 5, 2014, a Maryland local and their friend encountered Chessie near the Magathie River while parked by Arundel Beach Road. Describing it as a 25 to 30 feet long, snake-like creature with a slender black head, they were unsure if it had scales or leathery skin. Although they didn't manage to snap a photo, the sighting prompted them to contact the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, signaling the importance of the encounter. Number 7. Zuiomaru carcass. The Zuiomaru carcass has been puzzling scientists, fishermen, and enthusiasts for decades. Back in 1977, a Japanese fishing boat stumbled upon a massive carcass in the sea depths. It measured over 33 feet long and weighed a whopping 4,000 pounds. This sea creature had a dark, scaly exterior and a big mouth filled with sharp teeth. Some folks thought it might be a sea monster, while others leaned towards it being a giant shark because of its size and mouth shape. But here's the twist. The scaly skin didn't match the shark theory, leaving everyone scratching their heads. Some thought it could be a prehistoric creature or a completely new species. When scientists examined the carcass, they found its skin lacked collagen, adding another layer to the mystery. Number 8. Seneca Lake Monster. This legendary creature has been the talk of the town around Seneca Lake in upstate New York for ages. A spooky photo shows a massive sea creature with humps and a tail, sparking rumors about its existence. Witnesses, including fishermen and locals, have described it as a long, thin creature with a head resembling a horse or sheep. Another sighting, caught on camera by someone in Geneva, New York, added fuel to the fire. Whether it's real or just a tall tale, the legend of the Seneca Lake Monster keeps people curious whenever they're near the lake. Number 9. Vietnamese Dragon. Dragons are mythical creatures deeply rooted in legends and folklore worldwide, and Vietnam has its own unique version. Known as Long in Vietnamese mythology, this dragon holds significant cultural importance. Unlike the fire-breathing dragons often depicted in Western tales, Long is closely associated with water and typically portrayed as serpentine rather than reptilian. Recently, a Vietnamese fisherman captured a brief glimpse of what appeared to be a dragon emerging from the water on camera. While details about the video are scarce, it raises intriguing questions about the existence of these legendary beings. Unfortunately, the footage only provides a fleeting glimpse of the dragon before it disappears back into the depths. Vietnamese folklore is full of stories of dragons blessing people with prosperity, bringing rainfall, and safeguarding the land from natural calamities. Interestingly, the long dragon plays a central role in many Vietnamese festivals, including the Tet Lunar New Year and the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival. During these celebrations, elaborately crafted paper or silk dragons dance to the beat of drums in colorful parades. Some even speculate that Hang Son Doong, the world's largest cave located in Phong Nha, Cây Bang National Park, could be the lair of these mystical creatures. Number 10. Chinese giant salamander. The Yangtze River in China holds a host of enigmatic aquatic creatures that science hasn't fully explored yet. Among these is the Chinese giant salamander, often dubbed a baby dragon, occasionally sighted in the river's waters. This remarkable amphibian is the largest of its kind globally, reaching lengths of up to 1.8 meters, nearly the height of an average person. Alongside the Chinese giant salamander, the Yangtze River also shelters the Yangtze sturgeon, one of the world's largest freshwater fish species. The Chinese giant salamander is truly a relic of ancient times, belonging to the Cryptobranchidae family, which has survived for over 170 million years, even during the Jurassic era. Their hunting technique is fascinating. They expand their throat and then create suction by opening their mouth, drawing in water and prey. What's particularly intriguing about these ancient creatures is their reliance on smell and touch for navigation due to their poor eyesight. Their skin is covered in nodes that detect vibrations, aiding in prey location. When feeling threatened, they emit a white, pepper-scented fluid as a deterrent to potential predators. The Chinese giant salamander faces a critical threat as it ranks second on ZSL's Edge list due to its unique evolutionary lineage and vulnerable status. Overhunting for human consumption poses the most significant danger to these remarkable amphibians. To prevent their extinction, ZSL is spearheading a conservation initiative in China. This comprehensive project involves conducting the largest wildlife survey in the nation's history to gather essential data for future salamander conservation efforts. Local Edge Fellows are being trained to acquire the necessary skills for conducting research in the field. Number 11. Mokele Mbembe. Mokele Mbembe is a legendary creature rumored to inhabit the Congo River Basin in Central Africa. Described as a large, dinosaur-like animal with a lengthy neck and tail, it has garnered attention through numerous expeditions and eyewitness accounts. In a video, we witness a man sailing away from what appears to be Mokele Mbembe, emerging from the water behind him. While the scientific consensus holds that dinosaurs became extinct millions of years ago, there have been occasional reports of sightings in recent years. Furthermore, the dense and challenging terrain of the Congo River Basin could conceal a surviving population of dinosaurs yet to be discovered. Number 12. Nahuelito. Nahuelito is a mysterious aquatic creature that is said to reside in the depths of Nahuel Huapi Lake, located in Argentina. Often likened to the infamous Loch Ness Monster, Nahuelito has captured the imagination of many with its elusive nature and intriguing tales. Descriptions of Nahuelito vary, particularly concerning its size. Some accounts claim that the creature spans an impressive 33 to 131 feet, or 10 to 40 meters in length. Other reports suggest that it might be somewhat smaller, though still sizable enough to inspire awe and curiosity. Witnesses have reported seeing a serpent-like being with a long neck and a prominent hump swimming gracefully through the lake's deep waters. These sightings have been numerous, adding to the creature's mystique and the legend that surrounds it. The roots of the Nahuelito legend run deep in the indigenous Mapuche culture. The Mapuche people have long told stories of water spirits and mysterious beings inhabiting lakes and rivers. These mythological tales are interwoven with the culture's rich traditions and beliefs, lending a sense of historical continuity to the Nahuelito legend. Despite the rich folklore, skeptics often dismiss the Nahuelito sightings as mere legends or cases of misidentification. They argue that the creature is a product of overactive imaginations or mistaken sightings of known animals or floating debris. However, believers maintain that there is more to the story than meets the eye. Some enthusiasts speculate that Nahuelito could be a remnant from prehistoric times, a living fossil that has somehow survived in the depths of Nahuel Huapi Lake. The idea that such a creature could evade discovery for so long fuels ongoing fascination and debate. Nahuel Huapi Lake itself, with its vast, deep waters and stunning natural beauty, provides a perfect setting for such legends. In light of these intriguing elements, one might wonder what exactly people are seeing in the waters of Nahuel Huapi Lake. Are these sightings mere figments of the imagination, or could there be some truth to the tales of Nahuelito? The debate remains open, inviting further exploration and discovery. What do you think is swimming through the waters of this mysterious lake? Number 13. Morag Sea Monster. The Morag Sea Monster is a legendary creature said to dwell in Loch Morar, a deep freshwater lake in the Scottish Highlands. This mysterious sea creature has captivated the imagination of the local population for centuries. Many tourists visit Scotland specifically hoping to catch a glimpse of these elusive sea monsters, while others encounter the legend by chance during their travels. The origin and nature of the Morag Sea Monster have long been subjects of discussion and speculation. Some believe that the creature could be a surviving species from prehistoric times, an ancient being that has somehow evaded extinction. Others suggest that sightings of the Morag Sea Monster might be cases of misidentification, where ordinary animals or natural phenomena are mistaken for something more fantastical. The Morag Sea Monster is often compared to the more famous Loch Ness Monster, with both creatures described in similar terms. It is commonly depicted as a serpent-like entity with a series of humps along its back, cutting an eerie silhouette against the tranquil waters of the loch. Whether one believes in these tales or not, the stories evoke a sense of wonder and caution about the unknown depths of large bodies of water. Sightings of the Morag Sea Monster have been sporadic over the years. Some witnesses suggest that the creature only appears during specific periods or under certain circumstances, adding to the mystique surrounding it. For over 20 years, there was a notable silence regarding the Morag Sea Monster. However, this changed with the account of a man named Doug, who was staying near the lake with his wife Charlotte. Doug reported that they had witnessed the sea monster not once, but 3 separate times during their stay. The most extended encounter lasted an impressive 10 minutes before the creature submerged back into the depths of Loch Morar. These sightings reignited interest in the Morag Sea Monster, prompting both locals and tourists to revisit the legends and the possibilities of what might be lurking beneath the serene surface of the lake. In light of such intriguing reports, one might wonder about the true nature of the Morag Sea Monster. Number 14. Champ Lake Champlain, located in the northeastern United States, is renowned for its clear blue waters and stunning surroundings. However, if local folklore is to be believed, the lake is also home to an elusive sea creature known as Champ. The first recorded sighting of Champ dates back to the late 1800s. Witnesses describe Champ as an enormous, serpent-like creature with an arched back and a long, whip-like tail. In one notable account, a person claimed to have seen a neck protruding from the water and managed to capture a photo of the creature. Some Native American legends suggest that the area around Lake Champlain was once inhabited by a race of water spirits. These ancient stories add a layer of mystique to Champ's modern-day sightings. Belief in the sea monster is so strong that the Lake Champlain area features several Champ-themed museums. These museums showcase various pieces of evidence related to the alleged existence of the creature, including eyewitness accounts and photographs. In 1982, the legend of Champ garnered political attention. A New York legislator proposed a bill to grant Champ protected status as a rare and endangered species. Unfortunately, this proposal was ultimately rejected. Despite the lack of official recognition, the legend of Champ continues to thrive. The stories and sightings keep the mystery alive, drawing visitors and enthusiasts to Lake Champlain. Whether one believes in the creature or not, the legend of Champ adds a fascinating dimension to the lake's rich history and cultural heritage. Number 15. Stores Jure. The first known written account of the Stores Jure creature dates back to 1635, when a Swedish man named Johannes Broden documented it in his travel diary. Stores Jure, also known as the Great Lake Monster, is a legendary creature said to inhabit Storsjön, the fifth largest lake in Sweden. The legend of Stores Jure gained popularity in the 17th century and has continued to capture imaginations ever since. Sightings and stories of this elusive sea creature have persisted through the centuries, maintaining its status as a regional legend. Reports describe the Stores Jure as varying greatly in size, with some accounts suggesting it is only a few feet or meters long, while others claim it can reach up to 40 feet or 12 meters. In various accounts, the creature closely resembles a monstrous eel, a description supported by visual evidence in this video. However, there are also those who firmly believe it to be the legendary Stores Jure. In 1894, a local carpenter claimed to have crafted a wooden model of Stores Jure based on his personal encounter with the creature, which he said occurred several years earlier. This model contributed to the fascination with the monster. The legend was further seen in 1986 when a team of divers reported seeing a large, unidentified sea creature at the bottom of Lake Storsjön. These divers' accounts reignited interest and speculation about the true nature of Stores Jure. The mystery surrounding the Great Lake Monster continues to draw curiosity and intrigue, making Storsjön a point of interest for both locals and tourists. Whether Stores Jure is a real creature or merely a product of folklore, its legend remains a fascinating part of Swedish cultural heritage. Number 16. Lake Van Monster. You may have heard of Scotland's infamous Loch Ness Monster, but did you know that Turkey has its own sea monster legend? Lake Van, the largest lake in Turkey, located south of Mount Ararat in eastern Turkey, has been the focus of attention for centuries due to its mysterious creature. Ancient civilizations once settled around Lake Van and referred to the water as the Upper Sea, believing it harbored numerous mysterious entities. Despite the passage of time, the lake continues to hold its secrets. Sightings of the monster in Lake Van were particularly frequent between 1995 and 1997, although reports date back as far as 1889. Modern video footage captures an unknown and incredibly large creature moving through the waters of Lake Van. Many people who have seen this footage immediately noted the creature's distinct resemblance to the Loch Ness Monster. Speculation about the true nature of the Lake Van Monster is varied. Some argue that it might be a giant squid, while others believe it could be an ancient marine reptile similar to a plesiosaur. The legend of the Lake Van Monster continues to captivate the imagination of both locals and visitors, much like its Scottish counterpart. Whether the creature is a relic from prehistoric times or a case of mistaken identity, nobody really knows. And that was all for today. Which creature did you think was the most intriguing? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. See you in the next one. Goodbye.